life. But now having a child, like her job, I mean, really her job for me has been like put on the earth boots, like land here, like you have to do this. So even when I have a lot of insecurity and I have a lot of doubt, it's like the necessity and the desire overrides it, because I really want to have a great life with her, and I want the same kind of freedom I had before, but now that requires 2 plane tickets and requires an infrastructure that I didn't need before. And then also the focus thing, like that's something that I just continually learn, because I have so many interests, and I'm so, I get going, and then it's like I want to build the retreats, and I travel in Brazil, and I teach trainings, and I need to build curriculum for each of those things, and I need to reach out to different people. Each of those is a different market, different people that I'm interested in working on. So I'm really trying to just focus on one thing at a time. And completing that, and I'm doing
so
okay.
Good. I really
not
need
doing
to
great,
learn that, so thank you
well.
for being here to remind me. Tell people a little bit about the retreat that you're working on. It sounds really amazing.
So, everyone should come to Ilha Grande, and it's this island that, it was the first place that I went when I went to Brazil, and the reason I feel so passionate about it is because it's a huge island. Grande means big in Portuguese. And there's 100 beaches, and there's no cars, and there's no hotel chains, and it's off the coast of Rio, so it's not really very far. It's only like 2 hours from Rio. How could a place like this exist? Like, this is possible. It's possible to leave something untouched, but still have tourism and still have people enjoy it in a healthy way. And it's untouched Atlantic rainforest. There's only 5% of the Atlantic rainforest left. And the island is a big chunk of that rainforest, and it's first generation. It's never been cut down. It's untouched. It's like the real thing. There's mushrooms that grow there that only grow in zero pollution. Wow. And so the energy there for me is like the most feminine energy I've ever been in. There's like, it's like really green, rolling hills, mountains, water. The energy there is so powerful, so transformative, and that's because of the preservation of the land, and then the energy of Brazilians, which is just very open-hearted and very loving and warm. And so I lead retreats there for all different kinds of people, but the one that's coming up is for professional women, because I noticed that that's already a lot of the women who join, and so I wanted to form something specifically for those women. Just noticed there's like this inversion happening where people who've been really focused on the external world and, you know, the career and the life are now really drawn to the internal world. And so there's like this need right now for the cross to happen for those of us who've been focusing on the internal skills and meditation and just internal life and living your passion, need to learn how to, you know, balance. I need to learn how to balance my checkbook and have financial goals, and how what I'm doing translates into service for other people. And then those people who've been really financially successful and have the worldly things that they want are feeling a kind of emptiness, like, well, what's this about? This retreat is kind of about fusing those two things. That's about amazing. Bringing like nature, which is just so powerful just on its own, but we don't really, or I don't, and the people that I'm around and talk to a lot don't really feel like they have enough chance to get in contact with.
October 31st to November 6th.
That's right.
Are the dates, and you can find the information at kajyoga.com.
That's right.
I'll also put a link down below. And at the retreat, there will be obviously yoga.
Yeah.
And then you'll be teaching like twice a day.
Yes.
And then what else happens?
So there's kayaking, outrigger canoes, and hiking.
Great.
And then there's Capoeira, because there's actually a Capoeira group on the island.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also samba. And
so there's going to be a lot of...
It's a packed week. It's
fitness.
not exact... Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's kind of the... Part of the goal is like moving, but then what I love is that people, like, this is a great retreat if you've never done yoga before. Sometimes people are intimidated, like it's a retreat, I don't know if I'm good enough, but because what I love is that people are usually that great tired towards the afternoon from like breathing fresh air and walking, but then so they're like ready for meditation. At the end of a day of like an amazing trail and getting to a beach and having lunch outside on the beach and playing paddleball or going surfing. They're surfing one day. then you are ready to like lay down on some
So
bolsters
great.
at the end of the day. It's 12 classes of yoga because it starts on Sunday night and
Right.
it's yoga, and then twice a day and then Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So that's like a really good jam-packed time where
That's awesome.
by the end people can go to any class and know
Yes.
good alignment, know what they need for their
Such a
body
gift.
and their practice.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel proud about. Cause
What are you afraid of that you're doing anyway?
well, recording the chanting CD was a pretty huge one. I kept telling people I'm not really nervous. I'm just like I'm like terrified. It's not really nerves. It's more like a deep terror.
It's great. It's so good to just push, especially in things that are going to put your work out there. It's so important. It's so important, yeah. Cool. And then what do you love about your life?
I'm pretty happy with most aspects of my life right now. I love living in Brazil. That was also a fear, like moving back and teaching. I teach in Portuguese, and I never studied Portuguese, so I just learned on the fly. And
Oh my gosh.
now I
amazing.
teach the workshops, not the one on the island, but when I train teachers in Brazil, I teach in Portuguese, and I teach weekly classes in Portuguese. So I love the challenge of that. I love living in another country. I'm much more, I communicate much more from my heart in Portuguese for some reason, so that feels like a big gift. I love being a mom, even though my situation is not conventional. I love having Cecilia in my life, and even, yeah, I feel I'm passionate about each thing that I do, so I love that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hopefully maybe I'll see you in Brazil.
Yeah.